Good morning, Shabbat B'chal Zachar Shimshon Shloshim V'Torim. Today we in parashat Chukat, a story, parashat Balak. Very interesting what's happening in parashat Balak. Also interesting, why is parashat Balak called parashat Balak and not parashat Balaam? We're talking about Balaam HaRasha, the evil Balaam. The guy that is doing all the evil of the world. He wants to curse Am Yisrael, he wants to damage Am Yisrael, and he is asking God, Talmot nafshi mot yesharim, I want to die like a straight guy, or in other words, like a Jew. He doesn't want to live like a Jew. He wants to die like a Jew. He doesn't want to do the mitzvahs. He says, no, he wants to enjoy life, run after the money, after his lust, etc., etc. And we see the picture. And one of the interesting questions when we come to this parsha is, they say in the end of the Torah, Lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe. There was nobody like Moshe in Am Yisrael. And the explanation is, I think Rashi even on the spot brings there, Lo kam b'Yisrael. In Israel there was nobody like Moshe Rabbeinu. But the Goyim, they had. Who do they have? Balaam HaRasha. How can you compare Balaam HaRasha to Moshe Rabbeinu? This is an unbelievable thing to try even to compare. We see Moshe Rabbeinu elevate himself to the highest place. Moshe Isha Elokim, Pel Pe Adaber Bo. God is speaking with him, he's talking with him, and is Moshe Rabbeinu the tzaddik and Balaam HaRasha? What's the connection? And the idea from the beginning is that the Goyim will not come and say at the end of days, yes, you, Kodesh Baruch Hu, you gave the Jews Moshe Rabbeinu. And this is why they went in the good way. But us, what did you give us? Nothing. So says God, no problem. I'll give you Balaam HaRasha. Sorry. What's the answer? Balaam HaRasha? That's the answer. But the idea is very simple. You see, when Am Yisrael sinned with the golden calf, what did Kodesh Baruch Hu say to Moshe Rabbeinu? Red Shimchetava, get down from your level because your people sinned. In other words, there is a connection between the leader and the people. And unfortunately, they say, tell me who your leader is, I'll tell you who you are. And they say, understand who you're following, who you're going after. And there is a connection between the leader and the people. Yes, Am Yisrael sinned, but when we look into it, the sins were minor, and there was a few people, maybe even sometimes one or two. And this is like showing us that the level of Am Yisrael, they thought they are. They were a generation of knowledge. They thought there is connection with God. They saw God. From the other side, who is Balaam HaRasha leading? People that run after their lust, that want to curse instead of blessing. And of course, this also helps the situation. But the main thing is, you get the potential. Use it in the right way. Some people, they get the potential and they elevate themselves, wow, up to the sky. Some people, the same potential, the same talent, the same abilities, and take it down to earth, deep inside the lust and the desire of physical things, materialistic things. And this is exactly what's happening with Balaam HaRasha. Now, when we read the Parsha, we start thinking, is Balaam really a Rasha? Maybe he's a tzaddik. Look, and we go through, cannot go through everything, but we go through the story of Balaam HaRasha. So the beginning is that Balak, which is also something on the story by itself, because Balak is really from the Chazal from Midian and not from Moab, but we're not going to go into it. And Balak also, this is why the Parsha is calling on his name, is a sorcerer, is a very knowledgeable a guy. He's got a lot of powers. He's doing things with a bird. That's why he's called Balak ben Tzipor. But we don't want to go into it now. Anyway, Vayar Balak ben Tzipor. Balak ben Tzipor says he's got a problem. He says Am Yisrael standing there, which is also very interesting because we can understand Balak, but we cannot understand Moab that they put him as a king on themselves, which is also a story by itself. But we saw in the last parsha the explanation when Am Yisrael conquered Heshbon and took it and went to war and took Heshbon from Sichon Melech HaAmori. The explanation was that if Heshbon was belonging to Moab, we couldn't take it. Why? Because God lotit garbam. We are not allowed to go against Moab. That's it. And here, Moab are fearing from Am Yisrael. They don't even going to touch you. Never. Okay. Says Balak, Midian, etc. Maybe, the hatred, whatever. We want to see who is Balaam. Okay. So Balak is sending messengers to Balaam and Rasha. We're not going to call Balaam and Rasha. At the end of the story, we're calling Rasha. Right now, Balaam. Okay. And he said, וישלח מלאכים אל בלעם בן באור, sending messengers to בלעם בן באור, פתורה אשר הנהר, ארץ בני עמו, לקרוא לו, to call him, and tells him, there is a nation, in עם יצא מצרים, a folk went out of Egypt, and they are covering the eye of the earth, etc., etc., and he's sitting in front of me. I want you to go and curse them, because they are big, and they're going to finish me off. אולי אוכל נקה בו, maybe I can hit them and send them away from the land. כי ידעתי, because I know, את אשר תברך אוהב, the one you are blessing is going to be blessed, the one that you're going to curse is going to curse. וילכו זקני מואב. And the people of Moab, the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian, and they go with magic with them, and they come to Balaam, וידברו אליו, and they talk to him. ויאמר אליהם, לינו פה הלילה, says, Balak wants you to come, says, sorry, stay here the night, והשיבותי אתכם דבר, and I will answer you, don't worry, in the morning I will answer you. כאשר ידבר השם אליי. Did you hear? I'm answering you what God is going to tell me. Is it a tzaddik or a rasha? He's telling right in front, says, I'm going to ask God what to do. A tzaddik, kiddush Hashem. Tell her, you stay here, I cannot answer you. It's not my choice, it's not my decision. I have to talk with God. And they sit with Balaam, and God comes to him, talks with him. Well, who are those people? Now, by the way, God doesn't know who the people are, but to give him respect and showing, and look how he's bragging about it. Balak ben Zippor, the king of Moab, Balak, he sent them to me. And then he tells the whole story again, that Balak wants him to curse Am Yisrael. He's changing a few things, let's say, but we're not going into it also. Anyway. So God tells to Balaam, לא תלך עמי. You're not going to them. לא תאור את העם כי ברוך. We're not going to curse them because they are blessed. ויקום בלעם בבוקר. ויאמר אל שרי בלק. He's getting up in the morning and he's telling the ministers of Balak, לכו אל ארצכם. Go back to your country. כי מאין השם לתיתי להלוך עמכם. God doesn't allow me to go with you. I'm telling you, is this a tzaddik or rasha? This kiddush Hashem. He's telling, I'm sorry, I cannot come with you because God told me I cannot. That's it. And they go back to Balak and tell him he doesn't want to come with us. So what's Balak is thinking? And by the way, one of the ideas is here we have to understand that in this whole story, God is also trying to reward Balaam on the kiddush Hashem that he did. But let's go on. So Balak is thinking, maybe because I send a low range of messengers, I have to send ministers, a higher range, higher level of people. ויוסף עוד בלק שלוח שרים רבים, many more ministers, נכבדים אלה, and at a higher level. ויבואו אל בלעם, and they come to Balaam, tell him, כה אמר בלק, so this is what Balak told, אל נא תימנע, why do you don't want to come with me? Come. כי כבד עבודה, I'm going to honor you. And I'm going, whatever you tell me, I'm going to do. And come and kill and curse those people. ויען בלעם ויאמר אל עבדי בלק, אם ייתן לי בלק, he's telling the message of Balak, if Balak is going to give me מלוא ביתו, the whole house full with money and gold, לא אוכל לעבור את פי השם, I cannot go against God. So I'm asking you, לעשות קטנה או גדולה, not a small thing and not a big thing. Telling you, a tzaddik or rasha. Kiddush Hashem, a tzaddik. ואתה שבונה בזה, and says, okay, you know what, sit down another night. וידע מה יוסף השם מדבר אליי, let's see what God is going to tell me. ויבוא אלוקים אל בלעם, and God comes to בלעם לילה, ויאמר לו, אם לקרוא לך, if they came for you, to call you, קום לך איתם, go with them, ואך בת, את הדבר אשר אדבר אליך אותו תעשה. You're going to do what I'm telling you to do. ויקום בלעם בבוקר, בלעם gets the morning, quickly he goes, and וילך עם שרי מואב. ויחרף אלוקים. God is getting angry. Why? You told him that he can go. So what's the problem? Now we're going to reveal who is really Balaam Rasha. He believes he is a tzaddik. Tamot nafshi mot yesharim. But the real truth is, he is a real Rasha, and in the worst way, because somebody who covers his sins with holiness, his desire to do bad with showing off like he wants to do the best in the world, this is the worst type. This is those who tzvuim, they say, kata tzvuim. Okay, so what's going on? First of all, I want to ask you something. Somebody is going to come to a father and tell him, dear father, I want to damage your kids. I want to curse your kids. Is this logical? Who is going to dare do a thing like this? Especially somebody who knows the father. What? Do you think the father is going to let you curse his kids? And this is what Balaam Rasha is doing. Now, and God tells him that he's not allowed to go. And then God tells him, you are allowed to go. And we are looking, why is he angry that he goes? And why is this whole game? Don't go, go. If you want him to go, tell him from the right in front. If you don't want him to go, don't let him go in the second time also. But here, says Or HaChaim HaGadosh, is an unbelievable thing to learn. God wanted everybody to see that Balaam is not a guy by himself. His all greatness comes from God, and he cannot do anything without God. That everybody will learn this and understand. So what is he doing? He is telling him, first of all, don't go. And he tells everybody, I'm sorry, God doesn't let me to go. In other words, what do you see? That he has to listen to God. If God tells him not to go, he doesn't go. So okay, but there is a problem. Maybe Balak and his people will think that why doesn't God let Balaam go? Because he's afraid of his mouth, of his curse. Because God gave him power that he can damage. And God is afraid that he's going to do big bad things to Am Israel. That's why he tells him not to go, sorry. So what is God doing now? The second time he's telling him, you can go. In other words, he's showing everybody, you can go, but you cannot do anything. You are going to do exactly what I'm telling you to do. You think of cursing, you're going to bless them. And this is showing now that to everybody that it's like a dog with a leash. You let him go, and then you take him back. And this is what God is showing us. He is playing with Balaam. Go, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. So, at the second time when he's telling him that he can go, why is he angry? Vayicharaf Hashem. Why? What's happened now? What happened now? This is very interesting. Look at the beginning. He gets up in the morning and he tells the people of Balak, God doesn't let me to go with you. I'm not allowed to go with you. But the second time, when God is allowing him to go, he's not saying anything. He's getting up in the morning and going. Why? Don't you tell that I let you go? It looks like he goes by himself because God told him not to go. And now, the second time, he goes. So, what's happening here? He should have told everybody right in front, now God is letting me to go. And he's not doing it. And another interesting point. What is Im lecha ba'u leko anashim? What? Of course they came from him. What is Im lecha? For you they came. And that's the point. There were a few times in the Bible, but I'm going to talk about the one famous one. What God is telling to Abraham Avinu, Lech lecha me'artzecha u'ma'atrayim bet avicha. Lech lecha. Go. What's lecha? Lecha, to you, for you. And Rashi explains, letovatcha. Yes. You are lech lecha, but you're going to go, you're going to benefit from it, you're going to multiply, you're going to be a great guy, etc., etc., etc. The same thing is here. God is really telling Balaam Rasha, dear Balaam, I gave you powers. And kol hakavod that you were saying that you listen to God. So I'm going to reward you in a certain way. Im lecha liko, I want you to check. You want to go with them, I know. But check. You have powers to check what is going to get out of what you're going to do. Is it for your benefit, or is it, unfortunately, for who knows what's going to happen to you? So check it. Im lecha, check if this is for your own good or the opposite. But Balaam is full with hatred to the Am Israel. And we see it all the time in the world. They don't care. They just want to kill us. They want to do the damages to Am Israel. And they go. They don't think if what's going to happen. They're even willing to die, whatever it is, in order to damage Am Israel. This is also Balaam Rasha. Unbelievable. So, Vayicharaf Elokim. But God, even that, even after all this, is not letting him go. He wants him to realize that he's doing something wrong. So then the angel comes, and 3 times he's stopping the donkey, the mare, whatever it's called. 3 times. The first time, the donkey goes to a field, donkey or mare, whatever you call it, I don't know. He hits it. The second time, there is a wall here and a wall there, and the donkey goes to one of the sides, and he damages the leg of Balaam Rasha. Again, he hits it. 3 times he hits his donkey. 3 times, and then the third time, there is no way to go. Not right and not left. It's a narrow way. The point of no return. And then, after 2 times that an angel is standing there, and the donkey sees it, the female donkey sees it, but Balaam Rasha doesn't see it. The third time, after he's hitting the donkey, suddenly sees the angel. And the angel reveals himself to him. And the donkey talks to him. It's unbelievable what's happening here. I said, sorry. You said, you don't want me to go? I'm not going to go. He says, no. This is the point of no return. Now you're going to go. You tilechima. But you will do whatever I'm telling you to do. You're not going to curse them. You're going to bless them. And that's what's happening. And the blessing at that high level that the Chazal wanted to put them in the tefillah. We can talk about it for hours and hours of this beautiful blessing. And all the other things. And Am Kilavi Yakum. This is the warrior standing now. And unbelievable blessings. And why? Why do we get those blessings from this enemy? From this guy that hates us so much? Because this is exactly the point. When somebody is telling good things about somebody that he loves, okay, he loves him. Of course he's going to say good things. But when somebody that doesn't love the guy, that even hates the guy, and he is telling you this guy is a great guy, this is a bracha. This is a greatness. This is showing how great you are. And this was happening with Balaam Rasha. But what are those 3 times that the angel stops him? Those are the 3 times to showing you can still go. The bad inclination, the Balaam Rasha that inside of us wants to go and do the sin. So God is showing us the way out of it. So we can go out of the field and we think about it. But then, again, Balaam Rasha is in force and he's hitting us. No, I want to go, I want to do this. So then you get another sign from God, the second sign. And now the way is narrow. Now there's a problem. And you even sometimes get hurt, but you are so, you want to get to this desire, to this lust that you want, to this evil thing you want to do. The point of God, it doesn't matter what it is. And you go on. And then you get to the point that God is saying you, the point of no return. This is also Balaam, to tell him, be careful. You know me. I'm warning you. You did Kiddush Hashem. So I'm warning you that don't go where you want to go. It's not going to end good, as we all know. They killed him. Balaam Rasha eventually. There are a lot of other things to talk. But the big lesson for us is, Yetzer Hara, the bad inclination, is everywhere with everybody. We can know Da'at Elyon. We can be great believers and still go after our lust. Sometimes it's going to be something that we hate, something that we really want, and this is like leading us like an animal. We don't think about anything. And God, a lot of time, is warning us. He's sending us warning. Do we listen to the warning? Do we understand what's going on? And unfortunately, we sometimes do things and we try to cover it in holiness. Because one of the things that Balaam Rasha was thinking is, I am the messenger of God. I'm a prophet. I want to be the guy who is punishing Am Yisrael their sins. He was trying to see if he can find a sin in Am Yisrael. And this is what was moving him and encouraging him. He thought he's going to find something wrong with Am Yisrael, and then he's going to curse Am Yisrael. And this brings us to another interesting point. Matovu Alecha Yaakov Mishkotei Israel. Lo Alecha is a tent. Yaakov is the name of Yaakov. And then Mishkenotecha is a Mishkan, is a building, or Mishkan is the Bet HaMikdash, Israel. Yaakov is a lower level, or let's say that's the level of dealing with things. Yehudi Anodeh, the Jew that has to deal and fight and elevate himself. And Israel is after you elevate yourself, it's a higher level. So the Torah is telling us, this blessing, Matovu Alecha Yaakov. Your tents are, what is a tent? Something temporary. And this is Yaakov Yoshev Ohalim. Yaakov Yishtam Yoshev Ohalim. Yaakov sits in two tents. One tent is of the materialism, of the parnos, of all the other things. And one tent is the tent of the Torah. And he combines both of them and elevates himself to get to the level Mishkenotecha Israel. To build a Mishkan and get to the level of Israel. And a higher level. And one of the beautiful examples I saw is that when we are in Shul, in the Mishkan, in Beit HaMikdash, and together we are covering on each other. Like the same story I always tell with the guy that had a suit, and he had a hole in the suit. But the hole was only in the suit. He had still a shirt, and a tzitzis, and underwear. So you don't see his flesh. And when the hole is also in the shirt, but still it's called underwear, something, what you call it, and you still don't see his flesh. But if the hole is in all the parts that he's putting on himself, on the shirt, on the jacket, on the tzitzis, so then you will see his flesh. No, only if the hole is in the same place. But one hole is here of the jacket, the other hole is of the shirt is here, and the tzitzis is here. You cannot see the flesh. The body, you cannot see it. In other words, he was looking for a sin that everybody is doing. But when Am Yisrael are together, V'amech kulam tzadikim, nobody can. Because if I do this wrong thing, the other guy does other one, but when we together, we're covering on each other. We are covering this jacket. So maybe here is a hole there is a hole there, but if we're together, each one of us is covering on his friend. Ve'am Yisrael arevim ze bazeh. And this is the greatness of Am Yisrael. So if we take all those things together and go in the way of God, and don't let the spila maratas inside of us to run after the lust and whatever it is, and even try and cover it with holiness. Think for a minute, stop for a minute and think, is this for my own benefit? And listen to the warning. Be aware to go in the right way and not in the way of Balaam Rasha. All the best. Shefa Brucha V'Atzlocha.